5 o'clock here, which means that we can get this meeting of the Parks and Public Works Committee started. City Clerk, will you make a notation of the roll? And we've got nobody else. It's just like you and us. And all right, this is nice. We should do this more often. This is fun. Okay, first thing on the agenda tonight is sorry, I need longer arms. All right, we took roll. Approval of the agenda. What do you guys think?
Aye.
Okay, we needed a motion, just so you know.
You want to get
All right, it's agenda's approved.
trying to hit us toward that 5:30.
Is there any discussion about the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to move the presentation of Parks and Events to the top of the agenda.
Okay, that's the most important thing today, so let's do that. We'll move that up to
And I second it.
seconded. All right, then we'll move that to just above agenda bills, after minutes, and then we'll do the agenda bills. So our first thing on here is the Parks and Events Commission presentation and update. Who's going to talk to us about that?
Can you make it bigger, please? No way I can do that. Hi there, I'm Emily Anderson. I'm the current chair of the Parks and Events Commission. I'm here with Paul Swim. And we wanted to just take this chance to update you guys because we're back up and running. We now have a third commissioner, and so we've reached quorum. And we met last month and have kind of a new plan moving forward. So we wanted to walk you guys through it. We actually now apparently have a fourth commissioner coming for next month, which is exciting too. Look at us go. So at our last meeting on March 11th, we voted on a recommendation to seek out an appropriate local park for a cricket field. The local cricket players are looking for a specific park to call as their home field. And based on the recommendations from the city staff, we supported recommending Jeannie Hansen or Centennial, and then they're going to take it from there. And then we also discussed the implementation of communication boards at specific playgrounds. For some examples are the all-inclusive playground at Centennial Park, the splash pad when it's up and running, and then possibly something like Riverview Park to start. There's a picture of what a communication board is to the right, featuring my son. This is at a park up in Lake Stevens. And the idea is that it's for children of all ages who are nonverbal, who have a hard time communicating verbally. So a lot of autistic children can benefit from it. And you point to an icon in order to get your meaning across. They're really prevalent in schools these days, and they're becoming more prevalent and kind of common practice in parks. And so we thought that we would jump on board that and start setting up our own communication boards. We're recommending it and seeing kind of where the city staff takes it. We're also working with city staff on any potential grant proposals for things like implementing these communication boards in the community. We've established a new schedule. We're now going to meet the second Tuesday every other month on odd months, and then are hoping to have at least one of us here to update you guys on what's discussed at the meeting the next month. So for example, we met in March, and now Paul and I are here just to present to you guys and update you the following month. And we hope that this new schedule kind of makes us more functional and relevant as far as what's going on in the city. And then we also discussed creating a priority list for immediate and long-term projects, working with city staff to provide local input on designs for upcoming playground/park updates, and attending the Parks and Public Works Committee meetings quarterly to provide updates and successes, or in whatever capacity would be helpful to you guys. So we could either attend, we could submit something in writing, we can do it quarterly, every other month, whatever kind of is relevant and isn't flooding your agenda, but is also providing hopefully some valuable insight as needed. I think that's it. Anything to add? Okay, we're back. Thanks for your time.
I can tell you, the cricket pitch has been something that's been talked about for a while now, and there is a huge need for it in our community. So that would be an enormous accomplishment if we could get a cricket pitch. And it seems like between fields 3 and 2 at Centennial, there's room to put it in the outfield so that it wouldn't interfere with the outfields of either softball field, and I think that'd be just amazing. I know that they've also talked about Jeannie Hansen for a batting cage as well, and I don't see why we couldn't do both, and a cricket batting cage up there as well. But it seems like both of those things would be enormous for the community.
I think they would. I think there's this really strong population there. There's some details to work out, like for example, most likely not implementing a concrete stretch, doing something that's a little more temporary, right? Because you can't have a concrete stretch in the middle of a playing field that other kids are using for other purposes.
Yeah, I think the difficulty with doing that at Centennial would be that it's used for football as
Yeah,
well. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think one of the things that's come up too, especially is cricket folks, just like anybody else that does some of the field sports, may work or go to school during the day, and they're really also interested in night activities, in the sense of having spotlights for night activities. And Jeannie Hansen is not a place that we can do that because it's been tested for how far the lights go, and up at Jeannie Hansen, it goes to North Bend. So trying to light up a field at night, at daytime fine, or until dusk, that's not an issue, but up at up there for that type of a purpose. But I don't know about the other places. Does Centennial Field have?
Centennial doesn't have lights either. But there's a lot of daylight hours, especially in the summertime. So.
And I know that they've used the field out there between us and North Bend. For cricket.
Yeah.
And it does have lights.
Oh, the serious fields.
Serious field,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. That's a place that they could do it. Not cheap though. Not cheap. Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's it
great.
for me. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good to see you guys. All right. Now we're on agenda bills, and it's agenda bill 25 something or other. Yep.
I think we need to approve the minutes first.
What do we have to do now?
Approve the minutes?
Yeah.
I thought you already approved the minutes. What did we approve? Oh, the agenda. We didn't approve
the
the
agenda.
minutes. Okay. What'd you guys think of those minutes?
Aye.
Awesome. Totally cool.
Need a motion first.
Move to approve the.
Second.
All right, they're approved. Okay, thank you. Now, agenda bill 25 dash, tiny numbers? Hello, Mr. Viney.
Hi there. Good evening. So I'll be speaking on Agenda Bill 25048, which is for awarding a construction contract for the reclaimed water distribution system improvements, which you all are very familiar with. We've been moving this project pretty aggressively towards final design and bidding. And we opened bids for 4 weeks, just over a month ago, and we received bids from 3 separate qualified contractors. The lowest bid was received from Prospect Construction for approximately $7.2 million, including tax, which is 3% below the engineer's estimate and 7% below the bid average. Included in the agenda bill is a letter from the engineer recommending Prospect Construction as the lowest bidder and verifying that they're a qualified contractor as well as their subcontractors that will be constructing the pre-stressed concrete reservoir. So while the construction costs were competitive, the contract does result in a budget shortfall of approximately $427,000, plus the need for construction management, additional costs for construction management. This budget shortfall relates to construction costs, mainly recent uncertainty in project materials, including metal and electrical equipment, as well as additional improvements with the project related to reservoir access and maintenance that were not included at the time of budgeting last summer. The budget shortfall will be somewhat mitigated by the $8.6 million ecology loan that we've received. And we have requested additional $500,000 from ecology to mitigate these increased construction costs. This project is currently on schedule for completion prior to June 30th, 2026, which is our ecology deadline. And administration would recommend awarding this construction contract to Prospect Construction. And with that, I will take questions and give Jana Walker here from Finance answer budget questions.
So you're 400 and what over budget?
With this contract would be 427,000.
And that's largely attributed to uncertainty with regard to tariffs?
Recent economic uncertainties that really came on around the new year. And it ties to materials, metal materials, and electrical equipment.
It is okay to say it out loud.
Well, yeah, I'm just quoting what we received from the engineer. You know, we were tracking fairly well with the original estimate. We did need to provide stairs to the reservoir for access as opposed to a ladder. There was some costs associated with that earlier on. And then prior to bidding, we did see that inflation related to uncertainty in materials. And that was built into the engineer's estimate. And also we feel it was somewhat reflected in the bids.
Okay, but the bids did not call out such a line.
No. Did they have, was it itemized, the bids, and the reasoning for their fees? Did they show you calculations for materials that were greater than what we were anticipating?
Those details wouldn't be provided in a bid. We do have a breakdown, which I could share, that's included in the bid tabulation. And we have a timeline of our construction estimates leading up to bid, so you can see specifically where those increases were occurred. And I can share that if you guys would be interested in seeing that.
Well, ecology kind of has us over a barrel on this one. We have to do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna pick on because you made it. Stairs, how often do you use them? Are they an OSHA requirement? You're $500,000 over budget. And just to say, okay, guys, I need to hear, do we have any options at all? And that may be a homework question.
Well, it's been a question that's been discussed with the engineer and ecology, the need for the stairs versus a lot of our potable drinking water reservoirs have ladders, but part of this project, if you recall, we received a exemption from chlorination, which part of those conditions include frequent maintenance, cleaning, and inspection of those reservoirs to make sure our infrastructure is staying clean. So providing access that is easier to get to the top of the reservoir is important so we can meet those. And ecology felt that that was an important aspect of the design and was not interested in cutting that from the scope.
They felt that the occasional cleaning or the stairs were necessary and shouldn't be cut from the scope.
The stairs to provide
Ecology
offers
specifically
and
called
maintenance.
us.
They had concerns of cutting it from the scope. Yes.
If it's a reservoir that's gonna require more visits, more maintenance, then
Well, I'm just picking on,
Normal.
I totally understand,
I hear
stairs.
you,
I'm just
I hear you.
picking on it because it was said. I don't know what else might be of reasonable review here. I'm not this kind of engineer. But again, I just have a hard time where $500,000 over budget. Going in. All right.
So I'm gonna guess that you're gonna suggest non-consent?
Yep.
Okay, all right. You ready to do this one again on Monday?
I will be out, but Jeff will be here speaking on my behalf, Jeff Hamlin, and he's educated on the
You guys are
project.
both really good at this. So, all right. I get the feeling you have something to say.
Good evening, Jana Walker, Budget Manager. I just wanted to add, we keep saying 427 million over budget. It will be more than that once we have that construction management.
Sorry, you're a number
Back
girl.
up. 127,000.
Oh, sorry. I'm in big numbers today. Forgive me.
Trump's tariffs haven't taken effect yet.
427,000.
Bill's over here.
Precisely.
It's just.
Saved us over $426.5 million.
Right there.
That was.
See, nothing to panic about. But I just want to point out that that is not the end of the budget overages for this. When we get a construction management contract, those numbers will be higher, and we don't have a bid for that yet, but this number, don't get tied to it because it's not the end of the overages.
Well, that wasn't.
She started out so well and then let you have it. It brought you down.
All right, as long as we keep it under 427 million. Okay, all right. Anything else on this one?
Move forward,
Shucks.
non-consent.
All right, non-consent, please. Okay, and there's another agenda bill. I think this one was Agenda Bill 25 dash numbers. Who's telling us about this one? Hey,
25-049
welcome back.
on-call sewer and design services.
Yeah. All right, one more for here. Water and sewer related, we are proposing an on-call contract with RH2 Engineering to provide a variety of on-call services, including review of water and sewer availability for larger developments, modeling of downtown fire flow, performing a treatment capacity evaluation at Canyon Springs, and then evaluating alternatives for utility crossings at the SR 202 bridge at Snoqualmie River, as well as pump capacity evaluation on the 1040 booster pump station, and support for the WRF operations and NPDS permit renewal, which is scheduled for to occur this year. And the total for this contract is $440,000 and would be spent over the next 3 years. The intent is really to kick off a lot of our CIP projects that have been identified in our CIP so that we can advance the design in the right direction at the front, at the beginning, as well as when we get development proposals in the door, we want to be able to respond quickly to those developers and have reviews of their proposed utility connections and make sure that we have infrastructure in place.
Can we go to the financial impact screenshot? So help me on, let's just start with that pressure zone conversion. $237,000 beginning budget. That's for the entire project of the pressure zone conversion project?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and we've already spent $500. And 13,000 for city employees. We still have 237, and then this on-call will be 34,040.
That's right.
Okay, what are the expected expenditures at completion? Because I'm not getting visibility of, is this putting us over budget somewhere else? Or is we expecting this particular project to come under budget? What's your estimate at completion with this additional cost in here? But because you give me this big number, which includes everything, and tell me I got funding for this little item, but I don't know what the other items are in there that constitute that big number. So it gives me no indication of whether I'm telling you it's okay to go over budget or if I'm just happy and I'm saving money. So how do you tell me that?
Well, part of this is kicking off these projects and providing, evaluations that provide us those costs. So we're really kind of at a concept level here on all of these projects. And then once we go through some of these initial exercises with our engineer, we'll be able to adjust the scope to make sure that we meet the project goals and don't exceed our budgets.
I'll come in addition. We had an engineer estimate to substantiate the budget going in? Or was this, we had an estimate?
Yeah, we have estimates from our system plans that were from our engineer. But those were from 2017, a lot of them, and we've updated them based on inflation, but we need to narrow the scope on some of these projects to really start preparing plans and specifications. A lot of these relate to system modeling and determining how some of our improvements downtown, such as increasing the water line capacity along near City Hall here, if that has provided improvements and adjusts how we perform some of these capital projects.
Non-consent.
Non-consent? You cool with that? Yep.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right.
Thank you.
And next one is 050, amendment for water reclamation facility phase 3. Services during construction.
So, yes, this is an amendment for RH2's contract for services during construction. A number of you were present for the WRF tour recently, and that project's been very successful in the construction phase. We implemented a number of improvements, and really it went pretty seamlessly with taking portions of the treatment train offline. And the construction phase is complete. We're currently in commissioning and finalizing the SCADA, which is the computer program that supports that utility. And we need some additional scope in those tasks to complete that work. So this amendment would provide additional funds to complete the SCADA commissioning as well as documenting the project completion. And the total contract amendment for this is $196,000, and there is budget in our current project budget for this. The other remaining tasks with this project is the Kimball Creek Lift Station, which has already been contracted out. And that work will begin in about a month.
Okay, that's already contracted out. All right. That's within the $988,000 outstanding contract value?
That's correct. Yes.
No?
Nothing?
You want to get out of here by 5:30?
If you've got something to say it. I can drive fast.
No, that's all right.
Non-consent? or consent?
Well, these general contracts of these values, just by default, non-consent. If we're gonna be spending money spending taxpayers' money at this level,
Okay.
we ought to have at least a reading of it before
Okay.
we approve it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jeff Hamlin will be picking these up next week at council. If you do have any pressing questions, please feel free to email him and I'll make sure that Jeff has information to
Where
share
are you gonna be?
next week.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the Southwest, Colorado, Arizona. So
Great.
road tripping with the
Have a
family.
good time.
Yeah,
Have a good
thank
time.
you.
With the camper, or are you flying?
We're flying and renting the
Yeah,
car.
oh, come on.
They're young kids. They don't want to sit in the car that long. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, and that brings us to the end, because we got the important stuff out of the way at the beginning. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.